numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad ain't pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin, but he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, round it up, count it up. Hey, hundreds and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause her like she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number.
Okay, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is in Uptown Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. The bye weeks are all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Sit! Ready? Take. All day, baby, all day.
On 1st and 10, Newton gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. Does the big boy have the juice? And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Gun. Slam. Hey!
Here's Newton. Open man is Higgins. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a
first and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Newton. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Okay, 780.
51 to Mike. Let's go.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Newton now to throw. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers have taken the lead. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is now 10-7. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's into the clear. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. From 101 yards. And once again, the Saints are back out in front.
That was a special return And it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Newton now to throw. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ready? 88. Check 53 is mine. All day, dog. Gun. 53 is mine. Ready?
On third down, Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down. Newton now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. 23 yards, the final tally.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay,
I
good.
just need some chocolate in the box. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they've told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
53.
I got it.
Now it's Newton here off the bootleg. Flushed out right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Here's Newton. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And some room to roam now. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He will push his way down to about the 14. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. To throw is Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Newton. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Newton, he's going to look deep for more. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Now the question, what do you do here? Time not really an issue. You got over a minute, but you figure from this spot you'd need a good 50, 60 yards to even consider a field goal try.
Yeah, so there's optimism there, but there's also a little bit of restraint, right? You got to make sure you don't take a sack here. Don't end up in the end zone. Ball gets stripped. You could give up 2 points in that occasion, or maybe even 6 if you can't get on it and recover it yourself. So make sure you protect the guy throwing the football. If indeed that's the...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it in. He's got it for a Panther touchdown.
Jarius Wright His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Come on now, let's go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Looking here for Smith downfield. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 36.
Here we go, D. All day, defense.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
That's good for the Panthers. First down.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before the break. Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead. Leave the kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Check, watch 54, watch 54.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now Jackson on first down. Caught by Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Dancing, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Pass incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Gordon. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. And that'll set them back 5. Here's Michael Pilardi now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. 14 yards is the pickup, first down, New Orleans.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. He'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football, so there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion.
Has to be a little bit frustrating because of what you just described. It's been a struggle for him here in the second half, hoping for one big shot to get him out of the doldrums.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a third down.
Mike, 180! Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
From the gun, Newton. Open man is Samuel, complete. Then he will finally be taken down, but how about that play? It's a big one on the final act of the third quarter. And we're back now in Charlotte, all even as we get ready to start the fourth. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Throwing is Newton. This pass complete to Higgins. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 11 yards and a Panther first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. Out of the gun, Newton. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Jarius Wright with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Flushed. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Shaq Thompson charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson is going to fire one deep. Middle. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A gain of 32 that time.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Flushed out right. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Jones has it. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Running back. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Now Jackson. Cook's got it. Touchdown Saints. Jared Cook, his first touchdown on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. Newton on 1st down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. To throw on 2nd and 10. Newton, and they got the hook up. This is Olsen. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. From the 50, Newton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Newton's pass is on target to Moore. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16. Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On the ground, McCaffrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Gun.
From the red zone now, Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yep, the opportunity squashed. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Well, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
So backed up closer to the danger zone here from the 2. This is 2nd and long. So this one a victory here for New Orleans, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception, and we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for the Saints, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Carolina, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but